got a story to share. Coming from the village to the city was the hardest task I made. I got a story to share.
Hello everybody, Makaya. My name is Timi Muso, aka Sekia Baba himself in the building, baby. This podcast and crew. Please like, subscribe, comment, and then tune in so you can know the ins and outs of entertainment industry.
That's what's up, man. My name is Nick Watsajo, and if you know him well, if you're down with him, you call him Kwa Baby. This is Podcasting Crew, and we're telling you everything that you need to know about the entertainment industry. We're giving you the behind the scenes, the in front of the scenes. We are talking to the people that run the machine that is the entertainment industry. And today, we've got an illustrious one.
Yeah, man, yeah. I've been waiting for this guest for too long. Last week, you teased us.
Last week, we had a problem.
Like the co-presenter team, you guys must check episode 1.
Hey,
episode
it doesn't make
1.
sense what you're talking about. 1, 2, I was there. Last week, I was there.
No, episode 1, you're not there.
Yeah,
just as episode 1.
In chronological order, in front of the viewers.
Okay. But first, I don't know how to introduce this guy because I've known him for years.
Yeah.
This one is personal, you know. I feel like episode 3 is like personal.
You're the right person to introduce me. Find the words, my nigga.
Yeah.
And all I can say is that, man, our guest just sat down and he did his pipe, and I was like, damn. That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's real. Like
it looks real cool. We were having a conversation. I don't understand the pipe and the cigar thing, but yeah, but please, do the honors.
Okay, I'm going to try to do it in Pedi. First time on the show. I'm going to introduce this one in Pedi. Which one is this one?
Yeah, but
Lohono, mo podcast and crew, Roswere Aubrey S. Mmakola go tswa motlhala o twane ga ga mahlako Limpopo. This is Aubrey Mmakola, man. Actor, creative, director, producer, businessman, father, man.
Philanthropist.
Yeah, you know.
Connoisseur.
Yeah,
the finer things.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Ops. Yeah. Ops, I know you, man.
So, Ops, please tell us about your training, man. I realize you guys have a history together.
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense.
You know? But how did you get to be the person that I recognize straight up? You know what I'm saying? Or no?
Yeah, man. It's been a long one. This is my 16th year in the game.
Yes, sir.
So it's almost 2 decades going in there. You know?
Putting it
So look, it started back home in Limpopo, you know, narrated sketch. You know? Narrated sketch.
Yeah.
And I've always been passionate about that. And I was into all this serious academics, you know, like your commercial subjects. I wanted to be an economist and shit like that.
Okay.
And throughout my high school outreach, accounting, economics, you know. And I remember at school they used to call me prof.
Yeah.
Because I was literally teaching people that I was in the same class with, you know. My
so
English,
you actually mathematical like that?
Very maths and trap.
No,
I just never understood the concept of numbers and alphabets in this.
Yeah,
like,
hey, that misunderstanding
what's going on,
came
you know?
long time ago.
And I didn't even see the point. So accounting made sense. You know, if I'm gonna have 5 rand, I need to know how I'm gonna spend the 5 rand. You know?
Yeah.
Economics, if I'm gonna have 5 rand, I need to know how I can make it $10.
Sure.
So that made sense to me. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I was
Yes,
into.
it does.
And I wanted to be an economist. And then throughout high school, I was focused on that, and people would be doing this sketch and would be like, no, you guys are not serious about life. You know, maybe we do serious shit. And then Matric, I was asked to do one performance, Macbeth, and then I did Macbeth, and then from there I was like, shit.
This is amazing.
Shit, this feels good. Like this.
Oh, that first
this
time
feeling I wanna.
stage,
Yes, dog. I even forgot everything else. I forgot everything else. Accounting, everything, all of those disappeared. And I was like, this feeling, I want to have this kind of feeling for the rest of my life.
Right.
Shucks.
That's where it started.
And after Matric, where do we
After Matric, you know what I did? I was studying, and then what I did was I started a community theatre project because I couldn't forget that feeling.
Yeah.
I wanted that feeling constantly in my life. So irrespective of what I was doing, I was studying part-time, but that feeling, I wanted it there. And then it started growing and growing and growing. That it's the most dominating feeling in my life. So why the fuck am I doing all this shit? And then I focused on this. Then I auditioned at the Market Theatre to study.
Right.
And then a few days later, I got a call that I can come in and study. And then that's where it started.
Yeah.
And then that's how I actually met.
Wow, the market. There's so many grades of starting.
Yeah.
So you're part of that echelon. You're in that class of
Yeah, man.
Mama.
People that respect their craft. People
Yes,
that didn't just meet this by accident.
I'll tell you crazy moments of
Yeah,
that. Eh?
yeah. We've
Yeah,
Crazy,
yeah.
crazy
that. Yeah.
No, I'm scared. I'm scared of cats that come from the Market Theatre.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we
the
don't
Market
play.
Theatre lab.
no, we
Don't play those cats, bro.
so
Yeah,
throughout that,
that too.
what happened was when I was studying, I was doing fieldwork. So fieldwork, we were going around different communities, rural, Joburg, anywhere else,
Yeah.
urban, rural, and then we'd find community theatre groups and then develop their scripts, bring them into a play, then bring them to the festival. And then they sent me to a group in town, and I was like, I'm not going to join it.
Shriner Chambers, 10th floor. That's where we met the video call.
That's where we met the video call.
That's 2007.
The video call.
Shriner Chambers, gonna be
Yeah,
chatting Grace.
yeah.
10th floor.
And I didn't want to do the trip. I didn't want to do the group in town because there was no money in local groups. The money was outside. When you travel out, that's where the money was.
SNT and all
Yeah,
that.
SNT and all that.
Right.
So they're like, no, you need to go see these guys in town. Then I got there and I was grumpy as hell. I was grumpy as fuck. I was pissed. So I get there, threw me head, and I was talking to him the whole week, you know. Like, no, he can't. I'm like, yeah. And then I get this, just this young boy. He's got so much energy. And he's like, yo,
Yes.
I don't have energy
Yeah,
for this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And then I get there, he's got like a whole lot of kids and they're doing good story, which was just messed up. Entrance and exits were just messed up. It was just Ngena Puma.
Okay, yeah.
Still remember the name of the show?
I don't know, what is it?
Days of Our Lives.
This of yo, dog. And I sat there and then I went through it. And then at the end, I'm like, yeah, no, cool, guys, nice stuff. You know, I gave them no's. And then when I was leaving, I'm like, I'm not coming back here again.
Yeah.
But me and my boys started talking, and it's been
Since 2007.
2007. And even now, I mean, I've had my ups and downs. Niggas have come in my life and went out, but this dog,
Yeah.
still my boy.
Shit is crazy.
Yeah.
To me, those are priceless. Cheers. I'll drink that.
What's up?
It's not. No, I feel your
Yeah,
bromance,
it's been
dog. It's
crazy,
not,
man.
It's crazy.
It's not
man.
often that
It's
you
crazy.
find
Yeah,
relationships
it's
that
crazy.
last that long.
We've had some craziest moments. There was a time where we were stuck like petrol. Somewhere in Bramford, in Orange Grove.
Yeah.
We're broke. I was still driving a Honda and they stole it. And then, yeah, we're broke as hell.
Where are we going?
I have no idea where we're coming from.
We're not working with Sin 5 at the time.
Yes, we're working with Sin 5.
There's an agent in
there's an
Orange
agency
Grove
in
called Sin
Grove, yeah.
5.
And then, it's one of those moments we laugh about it because
Yes,
we were
man.
broke as fuck that time.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the TV channel.
Yeah,
Let's
cool.
talk about the TV
Yes,
channel.
yes.
Before we get into those juicy
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like that video call. Subscribe, guys. Please chat and Grace. Shriner Chambers, 10th floor. Unity TV Casting. That was my first entertainment company.
Yeah.
Unity TV Casting Agency.
Good shit.
Pushing talent, young talent, man.
No,
All kinds of-
Baba.
No, we're hot, man.
No, we're hot.
The podcasting crew.
Soon
you know.
we're gonna have to change this to an arm, nigga. And then I'm pretty shares a pila official.
Oh, shucks. That's a story for another day, though. Let's talk TV. Because I remember, let me tell you my first moment I saw Aubrey on TV.
Yeah.
He was on Generations. Not the legacy. Not
Original.
before you could think there was a 16. On Generation, he was playing, I think the character name was called Tumisho Mash.
Yeah, to Misho Muloy.
Tumisho Mulo, Kenneth Masheba's lawyer.
Yeah.
When Kenneth Masheba came and took over X-Wen and became the boss.
Yeah.
He was that crazy petty
Yeah.
lawyer. Aburukhwa.
Yeah,
He took trend.
yeah.
It was
He
nice,
was there.
yeah.
He was part of
I
Aburukhwa.
remember.
Shit,
I remember.
Yeah,
It
man.
was my first big gig. Before then, I did your Justice for All, some smaller roles,
like
and then
cameos,
Generations. Yeah, cameos, and then Generations came in. Then that was like my first big role. That was like when I started thinking, shit, this fame thing is nuts.
Yeah.
Right now, I hate this shit.
Gifted a curse.
Yeah, but it was just awesome. I mean, it was. I think I was never ready for it. You know, you get into this, you want to be in the business. I mean, we can't deny it. There's always that thing, I want to be famous, I want to be famous. As much as you really love the craft, you always have that.
Because for us, that's the finish line.
That's the finish
You
line.
know what I mean? As an
And-
actor, if you don't make it on screen,
Yeah.
you haven't made it.
You haven't
You
made
know
it.
what I mean?
True that.
And then Yeah, and then Generations came, and I thought I was ready, and when it hit, I was nowhere near being ready. Before Generations, I had never touched alcohol in my life.
Seriously?
Literally, I was like a teetotaler. I was one of those guys that would be trading, and then when you drink, I'm like, do you know what you're putting in your body?
Yeah?
Then Generations happened, fame happened, and then shit spiraled out of control, you know? Started drinking, started getting all the attention. Sometimes just drinking to get numb because it became too much, you know? Because I'm a rural boy from some place in the middle of Limpopo. I never even had, some...
There's not a road sign that tells you that 10 left to Mmakola. You must know the gravel road that turns into Mmakola.
You just need to find it.
That's where this nigga is from. You know what I wanted to talk about, man? We'll come back.
Yeah.
You're English, dog. Guys, I don't know a petty guy that speaks English like Aubrey. Aubrey Mmakola. Conjure your petty name.
It's quite fine.
Listen to his petty name.
It's not a petty name, it's a Swati name. It's Tlehlise. I'm named from my mom's side. My mom is Swati, my dad is Petty.
And the English, where is it coming from, this English?
I started reading a lot from when I was 12. The first book I ever read was The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out.
So I've just been reading. That's why they were calling me prof at school. I was teaching English to people because our teachers were teaching people English in Petty.
Yeah.
So I was like probably the only one that was speaking proper English in the whole school.
How does English in Petty sound?
I have no idea, brother, man.
You guys have to give me an example.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Okay, students, listen now. Today, Rikitla English again. I'm
gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you.
You're getting a beating you for the noise making there. Come around.
Yeah,
it's one of those. You find the teacher saying, "Nah, I never even." Like you're thinking, what are you saying, man?
Yo, I remember
it's
this.
a simple thing. Just read. I used to tell my teachers, like, you don't sound right, sir. You need to read more.
European English.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must have been a favorite. Favorite, but not a favorite because you correct them in class.
My high school principal met me one time, and he was
Which high school is this? Did you
study?
study?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've never went to a multiracial school or something.
Yeah,
no, it's not them. It's all to me and my dad.
Definitely.
My dad just gave me a lot of books to read.
Yeah. You know?
And then my teacher met me a few years later when I was in the business. And it's like, before I actually made on TV, so I was doing a lot of theater, I was traveling overseas. And then he met me, he's like, so what are you doing with your life? Because I thought you'd be far by now, you know? I'm like, no, I'm studying acting. He's like, what is that? He called me a wasted brain. Because with all the brains and everything else that I had, he thought probably I was going to be this. And I was like, no, I'm doing this. And then he's like, no, that's a waste. That's a waste of it. I was like, sir, do you have a passport?
No.
So you've never traveled out of the country? No. I'm like, by now I've probably traveled in 12 different countries. And that was like my comeback. And ever since then, he actually gave me a lot of respect. And I was like very young. I think I was like 23
How do you come back from that? Telling an elder. Asking them actually, do you have a passport? And they're like, no, you're like, okay.
And a few years later, he called me to come in and give motivation at the school, which was funny.
As always.
Yeah.
You must, what you call it? Give back.
Yeah, give back.
You must give back.
Yeah.
To the community.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now I know where your English is coming from.
Yeah.
He made me read.
He made you read?
Yeah, he gave me a couple of books.
You know
to read.
the late Ramla Makhene, who I think you guys would know him. He's one of South Africa's biggest. The theatre at the Market Theatre is named after him, Ramla Makhene Theatre.
Oh yeah?
He was one of my lecturers at school. So he used to tell us to be prostitutes of information. So it found that I was already in a culture of reading, and then he made me read more. So that's why I literally...
That's why I
tell all my students, you must read.
But normally you find maybe there was an influence of Bala Hangata. Like maybe it was your dad a push of, hey, read. Like my parents are readers, but I turned out to be the opposite.
I think if my dad told me to read, I was not going to read. So he had subliminal ways of making us read. So he'll just drop a book. While you're studying and doing your math, then he'll just drop a book. He won't tell you to read it.
Right.
And then he'll look around and he'll drop another book. And then start reading and then he drops another. Before you know it, you're finishing all the books that he's been giving you.
Okay.
And then after a while, they start disappearing. So he takes them back.
They're his books.
He takes them back.
Yeah.
And then he drops another edition, you know?
Right.
There was one of his favorite magazines, Psychology Today. I don't know if that thing is still there. It was a British magazine called Psychology
No,
Today.
you're old school, eh?
And I started reading that. So I started dropping that at 14, 15, 16. So I knew a lot of stuff from that book. You know? Yeah, from that magazine and a lot of other books that he used to give us.
Was there a thing in you that, okay, I want to... Because I believe, listening to your story, you figured, what teacher they're not teaching me to speak the way I want to. You know, I'm not going to say any way is wrong to speak, but the way that you wanted to speak, the way you come was that a part of it? Or I need to improve beyond...
Not really. I think Nekratadil.
Sure.
So it started from just reading one book and also I was a loner. I've been a loner all literal. Like my cycle is this small.
Sure.
Like even
Very
now,
tiny, man.
I have my
He's a part of it.
my Sunday pocket course, and then it will just be him. On my birthday, it was like 5 of us at my house.
Literally.
Okay.
Literally.
Me and a friend I brought and stock for the day.
And then one of my friends,
You know what I
literally.
mean?
That's how tiny my cycle is, you know? So even then I was a loner. So I had too much time on my hands and I didn't do like soccer, even though I can understand what like, Kaiser Chiefs Palace. I'm just like, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to do all of those. So I was just reading. And then it just became a hobby and I started enjoying it. So, and then before I knew it, it was just a culture for me.
Oh, wait, back to TV,
Yeah.
Back to TV, too much reading, eh?
Let's talk about
Too much reading. Subscribe, read, comment, and like. Subscribe, read, comment, and like.
Podcast.
Back to TV.
Yeah.
After generations, to me, show, you become this celebrity guy, this big guy, something that... Because none of us know fame until you test it.
Yeah, until you
It's like
taste
you don't know Namibia until you go to Namibia.
Until you go to Namibia.
Do you get what I'm talking about? Now you taste this fame. What happens to you as a person and to your career?
It was...
Because for me, you know what I always say? Sorry to... I always say this. This is what I always say, ne?
Yeah.
Generations is not where you start.
Yeah.
According to me and understanding the industry in my own way. It's basically where you end.
You almost built to it.
Yeah, you build 2 generations.
yeah.
You can't just first kick generations.
yeah,
Because after generations,
True.
what next? That's the biggest show we have in the country.
Yeah.
The longest show running on TV.
I think for me, I had a lot of fear when the contract ended on Generations. Like you're saying, it's not where you start. And I started there. Then it's like, where to from now? And at the time, there was no DSTV and all these other channels. SABC 1.
2, 3,
Was
SABC.
And SABC 1 was the biggest channel. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you're on SABC 1, you were literally on the biggest channel in the country. And from there, it was like, then what? Then what happens next, you know? And it was both a blessing and kind of like a curse in the same time, because after that, I couldn't get work. You know, everyone thought I was overexposed, and everyone thought maybe I was very expensive. I'm too famous, all of that, and it was just like
from your first
I was just like, guys, I want work. I just want to work. I don't care about what do you get. You talk about overexposure. What is that? I just want to act, bro.
So the generation stint, the heyday of it.
Yeah.
How long was that? Sorry.
That was about 2 years, a year to 2 years. So it was quite hectic, you know. And then I remember one time. On the last day of shoot, we had like a very interesting scene with Sputla. And as I walked out, Menzi was standing right at Studio 3. And he was like, you boy, you. Boy.
That's Ngamla.
That's Ngamla. That's Ngamla. And I'm just like, to me, it was almost unreal. And then I was like, wow. He's like, dog, that scene, that's it. That's the landmark of your career. Don't ever perform anything below that.
You set your own.
And I had to watch it to actually understand what he was saying, because to me it was just like, okay, I just did a scene.
Sometimes you don't see that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Which one is the next
And then when I watched it, I actually had goosebumps. So that's when I actually understood what he meant. And even to his last days, I respected Menzi, like big time.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah, may his soul rest in peace.
Shout out to Pa. Ooh.
And these are the people that I watched when I was growing up.
You know what I
And
mean?
it never actually clicked, or those will be my colleagues.
You know?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's crazy.
So what's the next show after Generation and how long? How long does it take for you to get the next gig? Because it's gonna take time.
Yeah,
Because people,
It's gonna take time.
sorry, just for our viewers and stuff, so people don't understand that it's possible to go into a show for 2 years like that. I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So 2 years, that's 2 years of a salary, 2
Years
years
full
of
employment.
what you deem as stability, and then somebody decides your character's gonna die or is
And
gonna
then
go
No
bam.
more storyline for
Go
you. There's
there.
only
No more
storyline
stories,
for
you
you.
know?
no more
Then
storyline
bam.
for you, and then that means no more calls for you, which
Yeah.
means no more. You
And
know?
it was
Go up
hectic
for
for
you.
me.
That
it
must
was,
be the
It
hardest
was hectic
adjustment.
because immediately after that, and I had just bought a house.
Wow.
I had just my daughter was born. My daughter was born before Generations. She was about 2 years when I started on Generations. No, she was 6 months. I'm lying. She was 6 months when I started on Generations.
Yeah.
So she was still a baby. I had too many responsibilities, and then I went broke. But you're still famous because the fame of Generations follows you through. Even now, people still come to me, and I'm just like, guys,
That's
it's
like
yo.
16 years ago.
Do you want to see my resume and see how many other things I've done
been
after
this
that?
guy, been that guy, been this
But you
guy
still remember
also.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you carry it with you. After Generations, it was that. It was the hype and everything else. And then the worst that could happen to me happened. I got sick. I got diagnosed with a very bad neurological condition, and so they detected a brain tumor. So I had to undergo
Yeah, I remember that journey.
treatment. That was rough, dog. I had to undergo treatment, which was radiation, chemo, and all that shit. And then just at the top of that, my daughter got sick and she passed.
Yeah.
And this was like the closest person in my life. Like she was, yeah.
Yeah, man.
My condolences, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, that was rough. I couldn't work, and on the day that she passed, I had literally stepped out for like an hour after spending 2 months with her in hospital, not leaving her side. And I just stepped out for an hour to go audition at Rhythm City. And that hour that I left, when I came back, she was not there. And then after burial, I had to go and shoot because it was a studio audition literally confirming the job. I couldn't finish it. 2 weeks into it,
I remember it.
yeah, 2 weeks into it, I was in studio, we're shooting, then I did one scene, I was supposed to get into the next scene. I went into the dressing room, got wet wipes, removed makeup, got in my clothes, got in my car, and then I went home. And they were still expecting me, so they looked for me everywhere, they couldn't find me. My agent
Shut
called,
down.
I couldn't, because I was feeling guilty doing that gig because it felt like I left her for that job, and in that time that I left, she left. It's one of those things that I live with right now. And after that, it was just depression. I was in hospital. Like I was admitted. There was a year I was admitted like 5 times in a psychiatric
It was a
hospital.
year when I had
And
to learn.
this is all while you're still recovering from your own
recovering
tumor.
from the own tumor, from my own tumor. So it was
trauma,
So it was horrible, and
that was bad time.
it was
Those were
bad.
horrible
It was
times.
bad. And this nigga would come to the hospital, and then he'd come with weed.
Yeah, roll him a spliff, dog. Calm him down, dog. And he'll be calm, dog. I remember the first time I went to White People's Hospital. When I'm saying White People's Hospital, I'm talking about your
Like
net
your
cares,
private,
your private hospital. Because you can't take this guy to Para. He has a brain tumor.
Yeah. And it was
Who's going to
bad.
deal with him? Para, they deal with
They'll kill
my
me.
man in the seats. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But in Parktown, eh?
Yeah, Parktown. Yeah,
Parktown there.
Parktown, yeah.
I go to hospital, dog. I found my nigga lying in bed.
It was bad. It was bad. I couldn't-
Wearing, you know that dress that they put you on. Ba go apesa yona go. Roko ba go apesa yona sepetlele.
Sa fella.
Mani go apere roko. This nigga's not himself, dog. I'm like, Ops, let's go outside, dog. I take him out of the hospital, go smoking area. Roll a spliff. He's like, no, I can't smoke. I'm like, dog, you gotta fucking smoke this shit.
Yeah.
Smoke and calm
And
yourself
I
down.
think that was the first time I actually had a proper sleep in months.
Wow.
Because after that I passed out. But then my neurologist came and was like, what did you smoke?
Yeah, which one did you take? Which one is this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time you smoked weed.
That was the
actually.
first time I smoked weed. I was in the hospital.
Yeah,
And then I rolled with the punches and trying to recover. In the midst of all that, I had a heart attack. I was only 32 years old in the same fucking year. And then I remember my what do they call these people that deal with hearts?
You
Cardiologist. My cardiologist, he looked at me and...
thank God I have
did
you,
the
dog.
scan
Shout out.
and-
Shout out. It was boy.
You read, brother.
It was boy. It's all ops.
Yeah. and so my cardiologist looked at us like, it's a miracle that you're alive, you know? So now I had two things that were messing me up, my heart and my brain. And these are literally the engines of your body, you know?
Right.
And I was depressed, I was on meds, hectic. There was a time I was taking 9 pills at night and 8 in the morning for years, you know?
I remember those times.
And then one time I was in hospital and I was in a lot of pain. But one of the most interesting things happened in hospital because I used to spend a lot of time in hospital. I had this thing where I'd wake up in the middle of the night when everyone is sleeping and walk on the corridors and take pictures of the corridors because I always felt like there's people in the hospital corridors. So I used to take pictures of the hospital corridors. I'm telling you, you're always feeling spirits and people on those corridors. Some people don't leave.
So we were trying to catch a spook.
I don't know what I was doing, but it was just weirdest pictures. It was the weirdest pictures, you know? And I think it's one of those processes that got me to really rethink about what I want to do. And so I was literally telling the story of the hospital while I was sick and I was not aware of it. You know, and then I started realizing, no. The only way I'm going to get out of here is not through the doctors. I have to get myself out of this.
Yeah.
And then the first time I had a dream about my daughter, I was in hospital and I woke up and I literally promised myself that I'm not going to die. And I had my son who saved me from a heart attack because he literally called an ambulance and he was 2 years old. Wow. And when I had the heart attack, I fell in the house and he literally gave me the phone, then I called the ambulance, then I passed out. When the paramedics came in, I was flat out. And then they tell me that he was sitting right next to me playing with a car on top of me, like that, you know? And I was like, okay, cool. My daughter literally I had the dream about her when I was in hospital and I promised myself I'm not going to die. And I remember that I thought about this nigga. He still needs a dad, so there's no fucking way I'm dying. So I literally had a conversation with God. I'm like, dude, whatever you plan is, I'm not coming yet. I'm not ready. This guy still needs me. And that's how I fought back. And then this is where I am right now. And fighting back was actually fun and painful at the same time, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, got back in the game. Then.
And so when do you come back to yourself? Now you're Aubrey, the actor, the artist, the happy. You went through everything. You dealt with it. You're still dealing with it because you're gonna deal with it until you die.
Yeah. Was it an easy thing to do? Because I can sort of relate that, you know, when you reach a point where you feel, you know, you've been through so much adversity. Yeah. And you still have to come back to this game, which is so competitive.
Which is
There's
so
no
competitive.
That's going to guarantee you a gig, you know? Like, you have to put yourself out there and be ready for rejection.
And and at the time that's the last thing you need.
Yeah,
you know,
so
I remember that was the last thing that I needed.
You need a comeback.
I need a comeback.
After generations.
And then you audition, people don't take you seriously. You get what I'm saying? There's that feeling how I'm going to audition, people look at you like, oh, I heard a Spanban saying you're sick. And I don't want sympathy at the time. I just want a job. You get what I'm saying? It was really very difficult. And I'm a dad and then I have kids. I have my son to feed. I had a family. I have bills to pay. I have like a zillion dads, you know? And then something happened, and then I think I got a commercial immediately after that, which was the first time I actually.
Was it an information or commercial? I remember.
It was an information.
The Holland information.
So that was cool.
Like he had his own moment of really doing this
in the morning.
Right.
In the morning. So we had the long version of 2 minutes, and then we had the 30 seconds cuts.
Yeah, that was. I remember it.
So they were playing that.
Still waiting.
And
still waiting, guys.
The beauty of it was 3 months usage. But then they kept renewing the contract every 3 months.
Yeah.
And
The
then
gift that keeps
it just kept coming and went on for 2 years. 2 years, every 3 months, 2 checks for the long version, the 2 minutes, and the short, the 30 seconds one.
Yeah,
which was fucking awesome.
I know tender.
But that helped because then I could actually think clear and be prepared for auditions. Because, you know, as actors, we use our emotions to get the jobs. You need to be in the right emotional state to be able to audition and get the job. But if you're frustrated and stressed and everything else, going to audition is actually very difficult because you walk in there, you're going to appear desperate like you want this job. which most of the time is not what the character is going through. And it's not going to work. And as a result, you don't get that job. And you get frustrated more. So then now I could think clear. You get what I'm saying?
And that's what a lot of us are lacking. That's just that cushion so that you can actually be yourself.
You can be yourself.
You can't think beyond today if your means are
if you're gonna,
today.
if you're going to stress about the fact that you need to get to the actual audition.
I understand.
And then most of the time you get to that audition with the money to get there, you don't know how you're going to come back. Now you have to make calls, you know. And it's not going to work. It's very difficult. So it needs a very strong mindset to, you know, mind over matter. And that's what happened. I literally had to think about...
Mind over matter.
This is when all the books that I used to read that my dad used to give me came into play. Psychology Today. I had to now apply everything else that I was reading when I was 14-year-old and bring them into my life so I can step up. And all of that knowledge came very handy. I literally remember going to audition Grace. and I literally had like 35 bucks square to go, and I didn't have money to come back.
Right.
And after the audition, I had to decide, what do I do? And I walked from Blackgorry to town. And then I had to hustle money, got the lab because I studied at the lab, and then they gave me 20 bucks. That's how I got home.
These are the things actors go through.
Yeah, man, it's coming live at PodCast and Crew.
This is real.
That's why right now,
Doc,
I don't care who you are. If you want to give me a job and you give me a shitty rate, I'll turn it down. I'm not looking for fame. It's about my craft. You not pay me for this job. You pay me for the years and years of experience that I have gathered, all the sweat and tears, everything else that makes me right now that you see that you want to employ. You are paying for everything else that built me. You're not paying me daily rate of what I'm doing now.
You're not paying my face.
You're not paying my face.
Paying my hard work.
You're paying my hard work.
You're paying my hard work.
You know? So some people don't have that respect. They look at it like, no, you're being difficult. And I'm like, I'm not being difficult. The thing is, you're thinking you're talking to this person now.
But also, you need to mature to get to that level.
You need to mature to get to that level.
You need to be strong mentally. Especially if you're going to get a brain tumor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what is a brain tumor.
That's how you...
But that shit is scary.
Yeah, that's
that shit is scary.
From all of that.
From all of that.
And that Holland King was nice. It's like my Afpop one. Remember my Afpop one? I walk into Park Station, there, poof.
It's the poof everywhere.
Shout out to your boy, Limpopo in the building. Yeah, man.
And so, then things got better. Right?
Yeah.
Then you found your way. You found your step. Tell us about then how you started to flourish. Because your CV is much longer than
longer. So, I mean, then Skim Sam came through. And it was one of those horrible, sweet, bittersweet moments where someone was doing the role that I'm doing now.
Right.
It was another actor.
Some other actor was doing that, and he was messing it up. So the casting director had to think fast. So he calls me on Tuesday morning. So what are you doing? I'm like, no, I'm at my house, dog. I'm busy. No, I just wrapped a gig last week. Cool, come through. Cool, I drive there. I don't even know if I'm going to audition or what's happening. And then I get the pile of scripts. So an actor is literally not coming to the party on this gig. So we want you to shoot. Wardrobe call, everything, same day. Wardrobe fitting, same day. The following day I'm shooting. And
that's dope.
Then they're like, cool, if at any point you really feel exhausted, just let us know. Because now I'm trying to catch up 3 weeks of work. And then I was doing like 14 scenes a day. Like I'd wrap them up, like kill them, and then go home. And then I started working and that was supposed to be a 2 weeks contract.
I had a similar story, dog. I remember 2013, Follows the Street, season 2. Hey, I don't know this thing, me. But remember me, I've been doing this thing since primary, but professionally, I think it was 2004, Soul Bodies 3.
Yeah.
And I never worked. After that, I did like Your TV, guest presenter, Wild Room Live, Crazy E, Back Chat with Salamina, nice things. And then Follows the Street, somebody calls me in the morning. Yo, Jimmy, are you available? Available for what? No, just can you get to Naturena now? Sure. Shaimot. This is Kyuntuli, Sandile. They call me for this gig. I get to Follow the Street. They look at me. They put me in the office, dog. It's like 20 people. I get in the office, they're like, yeah, no, he looks the part. And you know what's going on?
You're like, what part?
I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? No. Sharp. Wardrobe, Take him to wardrobe. Give him sides.
And you're like,
Okay, sharp. Now I check call sheet.
and you see something.
And I see somebody else's name. You know what I mean?
Oh, they
It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing, dog.
I'm replacing, but luckily, the actor was doing Skim Sami.
Okay.
And he's a full-time actor on Skim Sami.
Oh.
So he was just, he decided
It was all the
last minute.
commitment, yeah.
Last minute, like, you know what?
I'm not doing this.
I'm not gonna do it, or
Yeah.
whatever. But now they wanted somebody who looks, now I look like this actor now.
Esan. Who is this? I wonder.
Guess.
So you're supposed to look alike.
Who is that?
Something
Like,
like that,
sound
because they're trying to replace this actor
Yeah.
and they're trying to, you know, they was replacing Eric. I'm like, what?
He's over lies.
What's going on? So I can relate to that story. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And
It's
for me, I
crazy.
felt bad because he
You
was
have to feel bad.
He was a young actor that was trying to break into the industry, and I think he was given more than he can chew. Because he was not, it was a big role. It was a lot of dialogue. He didn't even have a name at the time. It was just AI. So they gave me the name after we actually started shooting. Yeah, and it was a lot for him, you know. And the guy, I remember I actually met the boy, and he just gave me this look. He probably still hates me right now, and I haven't seen him in the game since.
We're cool. Eric
So he
was
probably
still working, man.
that was his last.
We're cool.
Yeah.
I've got a similar experience on Gold Diggers, but like, what I heard was that this guy was a model.
Gold diggers.
They're like, I know this guy is a model, and apparently, like I don't know how they took it out. They took the whole storyline out of play, but like it took a while for them to confirm me on that thing, like maybe 2 months.
And they're
Understand?
shooting.
And you know you've got those cues there, you're the favorite and whatnot.
yeah.
But there was a guy who was doing it, and like word dialogue wasn't coming out.
It wasn't coming out.
He was modeling on the dialogue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those ones, eh?
He was going on ramp on the.
Yeah, so so you know people should know that out there, that you need to,
Yeah, bro.
like you said, put in those dues, you know.
Yeah, but I always say, you know, some people think, you know, your job, people have this, especially the young people that get into the industry. They're thinking, cool, I'm gonna get confirmed, they get excited and everything. I'm like, that's not the end. That's not even the beginning. You need
You
to
haven't
put
even
in the
started.
work.
You
Because
haven't
if you
even
don't put in the
started.
work,
You're
they can
trying.
replace you just like that.
They do.
They will
do
replace
it
you like that.
every day.
So the moment you get a job, don't get excited. You need to be worried. Like right now, I get serious. I actually get physically sick. I was talking to someone at 3 a.m. in the morning because I'm on a very hectic storyline and I'm taking it in and I'm reading so much. And he was like, why are you up at this time? I'm like, Doc, I have a big storyline starting on Tuesday and I'm paranoid. And he's like, the Obs, Doc, you've been doing this for a long time. Why? That's how seriously I take this. I take it very serious.
Yeah, I remember
have to
meeting you at
do that.
Northcliffe. I can't remember what job we were casting for, me and Obey. And you came to... This guy walked into audition room, dude. He had his pipe, boxers inside,
And a
gown,
gown.
and slipper. Into audition room. Into the building from the parking lot. Chest out.
In character.
Yeah, in character
Walked
already.
in character.
And in the audition room, Obey's like, what's going on with your friend? I'm like... You're
what
not
you're
used to
looking for.
You're not used to actors that
Not
prepare.
acting.
Papa.
Prepare. Get
Acting,
ready.
Baba. Yeah.
I thought you got into the audition room. I thought this man was losing his mind. Because I was operating, I'm on the camera. I'm thinking,
How do you get over that?
This
How
one
do you
is
get
losing
over
his
yourself
mind.
to do that? Because like
Thank you for getting into that one. Look at his
thought
hands.
I'm gonna do that.
Look at this man.
He is the Don.
No, look at him. Tell us a story.
This is
How do you get out of
But
character?
like you know when you get out,
Especially right now, you're doing 10 characters at once.
This is what happens. I normally do something out of character to get out of character.
right?
Because I take characters too deep. I'm a method actor, you know, and people look at me. I have nail polish. They're like, "What the hell?" You know.
Is he gay? What's
What's
going on?
going on?
Did he
This,
join the
what
club?
happened with this? It started this year with. So normally I would take a drive or I'd do something crazy that will get me out of that zone because I go way too deep into character. So this year I did The Station and I was one of the main leads and I was playing a villain. On the station, Zanzi Magic and one Magic, and it was intense. It was so intense, and I had too many parallel lines with the character. So I had to relive some of the moments that I've lived in my life, and I had to do certain things that I would never do that he was doing that I was questioning it. But now what I had to do, I had to tell his truth. I had to be him, but I went way too deep. So after finishing on the last day, I was still having Deliza playing in my mind, left, right, and center. And I'm just like, I don't want this guy in my head. I need to do something crazy.
Yeah.
And then I told the makeup ladies, I'm like, I need to do something crazy. I need nail polish. They're like, nail polish? I'm like, yeah. What? Black. And then I put black nail polish. And I couldn't feel like Delisa after that. Delisa was gone. Because he would never put on a nail polish.
So you do something out of character.
Something out of character to get out of character. That's what happened.
Shit. You know how I get out of character? That's why I go home almost every weekend.
Yeah, I
literally disappear out of Joburg and I forgot about the whole
That's
city,
what I used to
the
do.
industry, and everything.
And I got this trick from Sir Anthony Hopkins. He takes trips to detox. You just take a trip to nowhere. You literally, as you get out of the house, and then if there's a car coming and then maybe you're going to indicate right, you go right. And then if you get there, this robot opens, it indicates right, you go right. The next one goes left. So you have no actual destination. You just follow the instincts and the signs. And you drive to nowhere. And then you disappear for 2 or 3 days, then you come back.
Shucks.
So with me I had to do something drastic. That's what I used to do. I used to go on trips and disappear for 3 days and I just call and say I'm okay.
We've done those Devon trips.
We've done
those Malanga trips.
So right now
still
I
get
have,
to the trips.
So right now I have the black nail polish. Immediately when I finish with the character, I go straight into black nail polish. And somehow the character doesn't feel comfortable in my body anymore. Wow. And then they get out. And then when you see me with no nail polish, it means I'm doing a role. As soon as I finish with it, then I put, like tomorrow I have to take it off because I'm back on set tomorrow on Monday. So yeah.
Wow. Those are ladies' problems, man. Shit.
Those
are ladies' problems, dog.
Yeah.
Ladies' fucking problems.
So that you can get out.
So I can get out. I need to do something that will make the character uncomfortable inside my body and get out.
Yeah, but that's dope.
Because otherwise they hang around these guys.
I must.
My son came in.
How'd you get out of character?
I go home.
You go home.
Yeah.
You like me.
I go home.
You like me.
You almost need to go to the original place to reboot.
You need to remember who you are.
Yeah, you need to reboot and then
because you
start
forget,
afresh.
especially when you get caught up in a character.
Yeah.
Especially you.
I go deep. My son came in the morning. He was going to school.
I don't know if I've ever been caught up like that.
I go deep. You know, that's
That's what
Market
I'm...
Theatre Lab students. We go deep.
I took a class.
I did workshops. I did workshops at the rep. I did workshops. You know?
So
Shots fired.
my son comes into the room in the morning, 6 o'clock. I'm preparing for a role. I was doing Delisa not long ago. So he walks in, and Delisa is evil. Delisa had this eye thing that he would give. So my son knocks and it's like 30, and then I'm like, what? And it's like,
whoa.
Never mind.
Oh.
And then I continue with my shit. I even forgot that I have a son. I continue with my shit. Then after I'm like, shit.
So you bring it home.
I'm like, boy. Transport is moving, like, brrr, God. And I felt bad the entire day. So 2 o'clock I call him, Baba, you home? He's like, yeah, I want to talk to you in the morning, but please let me know when my dad is back. I'm listening to him, it's like, please let me know when my dad is back. Yeah, it's Tepi.
And how old was it?
So Tepi's 12 now.
He's 12 now. Yeah, Gil Panzula.
Yeah, Gil Panzula. And me and him.
They don't regulate too.
Yeah, because we have that thing out of you.
What's wrong with this boy? We're chilling in my house. It's like,
because my kids and I have a love for weapons, so they adapted into it. I love knives and guns. So they got into that.
Are you martial as well?
No. I did sword training, and I have a lot of swords and guns and knives. Yeah, I have a collection of that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wearing a knife. I'm always wearing one.
Tell us one crazy incident that you've ever done with the gun.
No, let's not go there.
But I know a few. I can mention one incident.
Okay, mention one.
Then what?
First law, that guy who jumped through the fence.
It's a guy that
I know these things. I can give you another one.
I shot him in the ass.
Yes.
Whoa, you should... Okay. I need to back this thing all the way up.
Okay, here's the story.
Here's
the story.
One day was one day, Benita Foslo. For what?
No, I was living in Foslo, so my house was in Foslo.
Okay.
I sold the house 2 years ago.
Sure.
So I just got back from a shoot. So I don't park where I normally. So I don't park right next to the house. I just parked. So I went inside the gate, and then I just parked next to the kitchen. So it's like 12 o'clock.
It didn't have a parking at the house in Foslo.
Yeah, I didn't have a garage.
Mention that.
But I had a way of parking right next to my window, you know? So I just parked right next to the kitchen because I'm like, it's 12 o'clock, I'm going out at 4. You know? I'm going out at 4. So what's the point, you know? So cool. And then I go in, and then I park, and then I start reading my shit. I'm going through my scripts. Then I'm hearing someone, like literally the first time someone has ever actually got into my yard. So I'm hearing footsteps. I'm like, that can't be a dog.
That's a human being.
That's a human being. I look through a window, I'm seeing this guy, Philip Polo. I still had the white polo. So this guy, wait me so like, what's here? I'm just like, motherfucker. So I went back into my bedroom, cocked it up, went to the door. I know it's gonna be a lot of shit, a lot of noise. You know, part line like that sound of
makes noise.
So kabula munyago handle like, then I come get part like kwada. And he was like, hey. Went over the wall, then I went, papa, two in the ass. So one landed on the wall, one landed on the ass.
Did you find the guy?
The motherfucker ran with a bullet in the ass. I just saw, like, literally there was a trail of blood going up the wall.
So you're licensed?
Yeah, I'm licensed. I don't.
It off.
Yeah, my Sundays are shooting range. I spend my Sundays at shooting range.
Let's talk about the fun parts about the industry, man, about being a celebrity, man.
Yeah.
Things you've done. You know, you can mention maybe Pretoria.
I won't mention names though. It's cool.
You don't have to mention names, you know, but some names I need. Some names I need.
Inside information.
I need. You know.
All right.
So what are you saying? What's your question?
I'm saying, tell me about the crazy times you had being a celebrity. Because you were a celebrity before you found yourself.
Yeah.
After the journey, remember you found yourself again.
Yeah.
And then you realize that, fuck, I'm actually worth my experience.
Yeah.
Not my look,
I mean,
my
it's one of the pitfalls that most young people need to avoid, but...
Yeah, the drugs, man,
yeah,
the woman.
Yeah, but I never did drugs.
You could tell us now, we don't know.
I did drugs.
Me, I know.
But... So, like I was saying earlier on, that you think you're ready for the fame, and you're not ready. You know, you move from being that guy that has to literally ask a woman out, to being that guy that every woman that sees you wants you. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I remember after Generations, and I wasn't drinking. I was like very sober the whole time. Then I started drinking bit by bit. Then it started getting drunk. Then it was an entourage of me and my friends that I won't mention their names in the industry. We
Friends from Generations, you was on
Generations.
So,
we would be in Pretoria from Friday until Sunday, and just like I'm gonna get into shit.
Come on, I tell the people want to know.
And it was just, no man, we had a good time. And then this nigga always complained. Even now that video call.
You see that video call, ne? I'm gonna tell you a true story about the video call.
Yeah, I wanna hear
true story. The video call. Sister.
What in the preacher?
Yeah. The video call sister, the siblings, was my first girlfriend in the history of girlfriends.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right there.
Sure.
So she was my first girlfriend. Yeah. She was my first girlfriend. So we dated for 3-4 years and we broke up.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, because we grew out of each other. We were still young, man.
Yeah.
I just finished high school.
Yeah,
she was still in high
it's
school. We pushed. It was nice. I love that girl, man. Oh, shit. I love that girl.
I can see you in shy with you taking your hand.
Come down now. That's, it's first love. First love. So, now, the video call, man.
Yeah.
It's her sister who's calling. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. Just calling my nigga here. I haven't seen this girl in like 6 years, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, dog. Yeah, the video call, So she just called now, the little sister. This man has...
No.
Get a number?
This is because I just posted a clip before we shoot on Instagram. So she saw it, and then she looked for the number, and then called me. I'm a public figure, look. My number is out there.
Okay, so it was just a phone call. It was as honest as you say.
Yes, it is.
Your number's out there.
But I know
you're contactable.
But I know how she is,
I don't know how she is. You tell me.
You saw on the video call, bro. What you say?
No, your first girlfriend still looks good.
Why didn't you let hello, Jens? I was like, I thought this thing was coming around. Like, hey, this is all of us.
Away, though.
Yeah.
So, what was the craziest thing that you've ever done? That you have ever done that was caused by you being a celebrity? and you wish you've never did?
Oh, no, there isn't.
Or the biggest advantage you found you had?
No,
Because
I mean, it's the smallest
you
things, you know, like you know, when you walk through a roadblock.
You stroll through.
No, a roadblock, and then you know who you watch is that though. Maybe warrant the first thing at the place. But somehow you just smile and wave, and then let's go to. Or one of the very same book that they use, I want to take it. When I be fast, and then you know that's the first score. Go a picture talk. Then you're out.
Yes.
They always put that book down. Then you know. And then, I mean, the rest is just, you know, like the little advantages of going to the bank, and then you just get advantage of other people. The manager calls you to the office to do your shit, you know.
You get sorted
You
nicely.
get sorted
quicker,
nicely,
you
you know, and then you buy license, get it back door.
Right.
It happens, dog. You know, it happens. You know.
So you still remember Mmakola that? When we were doing nothing but the truth.
When we went to Wimpy, wrapped around in it was madness. That was madness. Yeah.
I don't know. Guys leave things hanging in the air. You forget to explain to a person. No, people who don't know.
We were doing a show, and then we decided. So we were swimming at the lodge where we were sleeping, and we were doing a theater show that was visiting the schools. One of my projects.
Right.
And then when we were
nothing
there,
but the truth, to be specific.
When we were there, we like, you know what? Let's go get breakfast. You know, and then we woke up in the morning. We were swimming, and then we went for breakfast. So we didn't change. We literally rocked up in the small town of Groblersdal.
Hey, I shout away. This eggs are cremated. The first time I heard the word cremated, I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
Because they asked me if I want my eggs well done, then I said well done. But they didn't come well done. They were cremated. You literally like ashes to ashes.
Oh, shit.
So no, it's just that I love things done in a specific way, you know, and I expect common sense and logic from people. So if I ask for a medium rare, then you bring well done steak. I want to eat it a little moo, you know.
So have you dated any celebrity chick?
No, I don't do celebrities.
Why? Okay, no, look.
No, I don't. I date out of the industry. I'm in the industry, and I know how mad it can get, how crazy it can get, and I don't want to add madness on top of madness. Firstly, I'm not normal. There's a lot of shit that happens in my head that is not normal, and I'm a very jealous person. I have guns and knives. Yeah. So I don't want to be on front pages that I get.
You just killed it.
Have you ever almost gotten in trouble? Because
not really.
Of
I just do things with him. The thing, you know, here's the difference about when you have training in
the
weapons.
time you used to say.
No, but still, I have a passion in weapons. So even no matter how mad I get, it's not the first thing that I run to. I'm disciplined. It's like martial arts practitioners.
Sure.
They don't run into when a war comes up. The first thing is like I need to walk away from it. But that's not lit training. It's like, yeah, so for me, I'm very disciplined.
Okay, no,
I haven't gone into shit, but yeah. I don't date celebrities. I get
Another question, I
don't. Like, no. Okay, Shab, let me tell you. You know, since the day, dog, guys, you guys don't understand.
Cut his cup.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Because I want to come on that chisco.
I feel proud. I know what you're talking about.
She's been my crush.
Only on podcast and crew, yo. Subscribe, man. Hit that comment and like.
Oh, this is tough talk. Baby does things, babes. No, babe, she does.
No,
I know.
No, dog, yeah, no.
Still hot.
But remember, I'm 41, so. I'm a lighter.
What the two was a stereo.
A lighter.
What the two was a stereo. She's gone.
Yeah.
That's
No,
crazy.
she's awesome, man. I think I've had a
And
crush
that's a
on her.
classic look, I understand.
No, yeah.
That's a classic crush too.
From when I was still at home, dog. When I was like,
You're loyal with it.
I'm loyal, dog. She doesn't know. She doesn't know we're in a relationship. She doesn't know, dog. No. And it doesn't change.
She doesn't know.
It doesn't change.
But now she knows on the podcast and crew. She's gonna find out.
Somebody gonna tell her.
Someone gonna tell her that, baby. Hey man.
Yeah, maybe we can hook up or
Maybe
something.
you can hook up and do something on there, you know?
It's out now.
Do it like you're tending SA.
No, guys. You're wrong. Nigga, you're wrong.
With power.
Power, son. Power.
Do it with power.
Power. All right, dog.
This shit slaps.
So what are you busy
That's
with?
dope.
What are you doing with? What's the latest work now? What's your hustle now? You know?
Look, it's two things. You know, I obviously continue to be an actor. And also, one of my greatest passion is to groom young talent.
Yeah, nurturing talent. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have an agency, and I also
Groom me. Groom me, bro.
you're groomed.
I want.
He's been groomed. When we were kids, was groomed.
No.
Oh,
I
You know,
groomed myself that
on this table right now, you're the only one who knows how to pick a box.
My That's
You're the
true.
only one.
Little Santa.
You're the only one.
No, but I know how to tell you to pick a box. I don't pick nothing.
Okay.
I've got the prizes back there.
You got the prizes, son. You got the prizes.
Another dog, middle center.
I never got the middle Santa.
I found it that way, Jim.
Middle
I wasn't
center.
about to change some things.
Middle
Hey, Joe.
Santa.
Who are you working with? Who are you working with on Jeff?
Middle Santa is like.
Your season, who are you co-presenting with?
Hey man, I was co-presenting with the illustrious, wonderful Twasa.
Hey, yeah. Tell us
That
with
lady
the
was a
gap,
ball of
man.
energy,
Charlie.
dog.
Yeah,
she was hard
at the
to
time
keep
I
up
was-
with.
yeah,
Hard
yeah.
act, like Twasa, every single episode was
just-
on point.
Yeah.
When I
She made you pull up your socks every episode.
You know,
Stay on your
and she
toes.
was like,
Clean job.
clean living. You know what I'm saying?
She
So if you
still
come
can
clean
live it, dog. She still.
No, yeah. But like since back then, now when I got there, I thought Twasa. So,
You're on something. No.
hey, Papa. Hey, Papa.
Oh, well.
Very chill, very calm, level-headed. But when she gets on stage, get this.
goes crazy.
Yeah. Oh, shit, where did this come from?
Yeah, that was a
You
dope
know,
experience.
I was a
I'm sure, eh?
replacing
I'm sure.
the great Spirit Jack.
Oh, well. The great. That's
Trying to fill those shoes.
The great
Yeah.
Spirit. My face. Oh, well,
So
man.
yeah, perhaps like the future. Yeah, I mean, we know you have more ambitions, and more endeavors than just in front of camera. So what are you delving into in terms of like
I mean, it's something
productions? What
that
can we look forward to? What can we audition for?
it's something that my boy and I have been talking about for years.
Yeah.
You know, and we did our first short film last year,
Sure.
and that's something that we want to grow into. You know, producing. You
We
know?
did our first feature film
Yeah.
3 years ago, 2017.
No, dog. The
The
one that we
feature.
produced.
Oh,
Yes,
last year.
yes, last year we produced our feature film last year, and that's what I want to grow into, producing more.
Yeah.
I interact
Creating your own.
with young talent
Yeah.
almost every Saturday. I run free acting classes. I give young talent acting classes. Every Saturday, I literally take out my time to spend time with them and groom them, you know? Because not everyone has money to attend your AFDA and get acting classes.
Yeah.
So
is
I
true.
take that time to teach them what I know, you know. And sometimes people ask me,
To
they think
share
I'm
the
mad
skill,
to
yeah.
share the skill. I always say when I was looking for a chance, someone gave me a chance. So I want to do the same for them. So I think to broaden them, the opportunities is for us to get into a space where we create our own work, and I can take the very same talent and then plant it in there, because it's so heartbreaking when you see a very young talent like with a lot of ambition and energy, and then they don't get to be where you want them to be. You know, one of them actually won what's that the awards, Royal Royal
Soapy
Soapy Award.
Awards.
Yeah, Chris, the boy that's in Deep City. He's one of my products. He won a thingy yesterday. An award last night. Yeah.
For what? Best newcomer.
Best newcomer. Yeah.
Shut up.
It's one of my products.
Shout out to you, man.
I've spent hours and shit working on that.
I probably told him too, ne?
Yeah. Because I bring my boy in to come in
yeah.
and bring in certain skills as well.
Right.
Because
How do you find these talent? I mean, you're finding them raw, right?
Yeah, I find them raw. Some just have a passion and a dream. They don't even know what the dream is or where it's
How
going to
do
go.
they find you? Like people watching?
I mean, I've been running the agency for a long time, so mostly
Yeah.
right now it's even from word of mouth. People just know about what I do. So almost every single day I get like 50, 100 messages saying, hey, Obs, this is what I do. I want to do this. And I'm like, no, come through. Let me see what you have. You know? So moments like last night when that happens, it gives me the strength to keep going. Because sometimes I'm like, fuck this shit. But you know, I give them my time, they don't appreciate it. Fuck you.
Hey, he's watching the podcast. He's enjoying podcast and crew. Subscribe. Even the birds are subscribing.
Yeah.
Buddy.
So when I see moments like that, when some of this talent they get to be recognized, and I see that, and it's beautiful. You know, it's beautiful. You know, yeah. So that's
Shout out.
Seed.
Shout out. It's called Inside Media House.
Inside Media House.
He's not saying it, but I want to say it because I know it.
Inside Media House.
Inside Media House, baby. We're building a house with the media in it.
Inside.
You have to knock and come in first.
Yeah.
So he came from the inside.
Yeah.
I know, shout out, dog. Okay, normally on the show, dog, we like playing games, you know? It depends who we have, crew or cast, you know? Ask questions about... First one, your first best actors of all time.
Best actors of all times.
5, just 5.
Daniel Day-Lewis. And obviously the man that every man wants to be and then every actor wants to be him, Denzel Washington.
I've been called Denzel before, remember? I was called Denzel, guys. Shout out.
And then...
Denzel, why?
Because I was amazing like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
And then is
Look.
Al Pacino. I love Al Pacino. It's the one actor that can start scene one of the film being right there and end it right there, you won't be bored. He doesn't build up. He can start screaming and be screaming to the last scene, you won't be bored. So it's Al Pacino. And then to Leonardo DiCaprio. I really love that boy. He does method acting. And then one, last but not least, is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Shout out. No, that's 5.
That's 5.
We call all of
Sir
them.
Anthony Hopkins,
I'm gonna give you another one now. First one on the episode, ne?
Right.
Give us 3 South African. Because
South
I want South Africa, Mmakola.
No.
Give us 3 South African.
3 South Africans. Vuskunene,
Yeah, I knew he's in there.
the late Menzi Ngubane,
May his soul rest in peace.
and let me try to balance the gender. It's very difficult.
Ooh, and there's one that I know you like so much. I don't know why you didn't call him.
Who?
South African but white. You love him so much.
I'm talking about Dan.
No.
Dan Roberts. Who?
Jamie Butler.
Oh, yes.
I know you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's not about. It's not supposed to be in the top 3.
No, but he's
hands down. So give us the third
No,
one.
I think it's because he's in a league of his own.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Give us the third
You
one.
can't
That's
put
what I'm like.
Jamie you can't put Jamie in a box on a list.
Yeah.
That guy is on the list, Ali one. Only number 1, only number 2. It's just Jamie Butler.
Right.
Alone.
So give us the third one.
Then it's Daniel Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the very highly underrated South African actors, but he's huge. He was one of my lectures in drama school. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You give us 3 actors. Now we need 3 actresses. South African.
Ausentat Mushesh.
Yes.
Mutsidi Mutsewa. Vati Sondaga. And then Lerato Mvelas.
You had to have the 4th one.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Lerato is
Danger.
she's
Give us the 5th one. Since you're going for
Close it.
Give me 5.
Who's this lady? I was with her on the station. Xhosa. Very Xhosa. I don't even...
I know me on TV. That's why we're on YouTube.
Okay,
dog.
cool.
The lady was on Long Walk.
No, what's... I'm gonna...
While you're finding her, think about 5
Go
best movies of all time.
First 5 best movies of all time. 1, Silence of the Lambs.
Shout out.
Right?
Scent of a Woman, Al Pacino.
Oh, Scent of a Woman.
Yeah, hoo-ha.
I bought him that movie 3 times in my life because he bought him his copy.
So
I
that's
watched
your
it.
jam.
Yeah.
right there.
I bought it 3 times.
And then the new one by Sir Anthony Hopkins, The Father.
I haven't seen the film.
that.
Man, he actually won an Oscar for it, for Best Actor. He's killing it. He's killing it.
That's 2.
And then that's 3.
3. Oh yes, 3.
And then let me see what. Oh man, I'm man-fucked now.
Anything from
I
Denzel?
think that's the aim of
Anything
this
from
question.
Denzel? I mean, for me, Denzel would be John Q.
Okay.
It would be John Q.
that would be
You
the
know, it would
fourth.
be John Q. And then the Reverend, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And the list is long. Now
you
they're all
wanna-
fighting for a
now
spot.
they're coming back like,
They're
I
all
want
fighting for a spot. So yeah.
And South African, do you have any?
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem was the shit. Even the takeover. Oh, about Takiba.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's that time.
Rapulani there.
Yeah,
He made it.
Coolest Kenja.
Cool,
The Nigerian character. When he played the Nigerian.
Cool, my
my
nigga. He killed it. He killed it. Yeah, Jerusalem.
man.
For me, Jerusalem is still right there for me. You know, I've seen movies before it and then movies after it, but yeah, Jerusalem is.
Shout out.
Storyline was quite unique.
Oh, to the best. Thank you for subscribing, though.
Subscribe.
Podcast and crew. Thank you, Bets. Shout out to
They're
you.
just laughing and shit.
Yeah, man. So how does this is the question unfortunately I didn't get to put into the interview because my homeboy kept on. But how do you, as a father now, because you said you were a father first, and that's something I wanted to come to. You know, when we were talking about how your dad did you with the books and that kind of thing. How do you parent? You as a father, what's your mantra as
Friendship.
as a man and as a
Friendship with my sons.
with your kids?
Friendship with my sons.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, more than anything else. You
there's
know,
a lot of openness.
if my son was to come here and then he wants something now, and I'm start,
Yeah.
I want a pillar. I don't go with that.
Sure.
That's how. That's me and my kids. You know, like we are on that, and I get to teach them about things that I would have loved to be taught. You know, so it's friendship, respect more than anything else, and I teach them to read. Like reading is important.
I think you're a teacher at heart.
Being knowledgeable. You know.
Yeah.
And right now I'm just waiting for the niggas to turn 16. The two of them.
Yeah.
Then shooting range and cigars.
I'll be there. The big uncle will be there. You'll be there too.
Now my son is, my eldest is
Now I won't
12.
be there,
I need
son.
to
Podcast.
He's 12. When he turns
When I
13,
get you there.
yeah. When he turns 13, he must be able to dismantle and put together a 9mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Shucks.
No,
At 16,
we
we're going to the shooting range. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
nice.
friendship. It's
You know,
friendship more
I
than
think
anything.
that kind of thing resonates with you. As we've been talking,
Yeah.
you're a very open kind of cat.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're teaching, you're giving back your agency through your efforts. It has a lot of teacher.
Because all of them, they call me daddy. I don't know. These
Prof.
kids. Yeah.
People
No, at
prof.
school, yeah, it's the prof thing. It's just
like, it
following me
hasn't
around.
left you.
Yeah,
It
it hasn't left, actually.
No.
Come to think of it, yeah.
Just I feel
I'm
like
schooled
we're going to
sitting
speak
like
till next week. Yeah, 'cause we can't finish.
Yes,
the
sir.
history is too long.
We need lights.
The experience is too long. We need to now hire lights now, put on some LEDs
Yeah,
here,
dog.
some sky panels.
Yeah.
So we can still look good.
Yes,
like we're
sir.
looking before the sun was setting.
But it is
What it is.
podcast and crew.
It is podcast and cruise.
I am your boy, Nick Watsaja, aka Kwa Baby. If you know him well, this is how we do it. I roll with my number one.
Sekia Baba himself in the building. Do me Muswa.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to us. Shout out to you. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to everybody that's subscribing to the channel.
Industry.
Shout out to the industry, guys. Shout out to the
Oh, wait.
It was-
Where's my camera? This one, eh?
you'll
Yeah,
close there
yeah,
after
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I'm still closing.
Close up.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Are we closing
Guys,
this way? Where are we closing
You
this
closing
episode?
that way. You gotta
Is it
sing
ready
it.
for me? Is it ready for me?
You gotta sing
All
it.
right,
Okay,
cool.
let's do the closing again. Let's do the closing again.
No, that was perfect.
No, you started. We're gonna do the
Okay.
closing again. Now you know your camera, ne?
All right, cool.
Not like episode 2, ne?
No,
These three, eh?
Episode 2 of you. Threw me for a
You don't have an outro. Give my parents a
Right,
bigger box,
Lucky.
bigger box.
Born and done.
Yeah, but before you close, ne, to your camera, Just tell people where to find you, how to find the agency, your social medias,
Yes, sir.
you know, because I feel like there's a lot of kids out there that needs
Yeah.
to be nurtured, you know?
No, man, I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Aubrey _Mmakola, and the other one is Aubrey _ops _Mmakola.
Okay.
And then on Facebook, you can find me as Ops Papa Khotatso Mmakola.
Right.
And then, my next project's back on Skim Sam. And then I have Kiani season 2 coming up as well.
Shout out
which
to
I'm
Kiani.
So it's coming back.
Limpopo,
Yeah, we're shooting season 2 now.
Shout
and
out,
then,
man.
and then, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Shout out. That's
That's
dope.
what's
That's dope. I didn't know you were going to close same time. I thought you were going to start it.
He
But
closes it and he smokes his pipe.
you know what I mean? The way he entered with the pipe, closes with the pipe.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, this is your boy, Mmakola, a.k.a. Seki Baba himself. Please keep watching Podcast and Crew, man. Subscribe, like, comment. Twitter, YouTube, we out there. YouTube is Kiaba Entertainment, Podcast and Crew. Facebook is Mmakola, Podcast and Crew.
Preach. Tell them.
Twitter is at it's
Top
Tumi.
5. That's where
It's
you get top
Tumi.
5 from.
And Instagram is Kia _Baba
Hey,
_ENT.
social.
Baba Entertainment. We out there. This Podcast and Crew. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe, like, comment.
You know
This
how
what?
it is.
Podcast and what?
Hey, we're not all social and yo, it is your boy Qua Baby. You know how it is since back in the day. It's on Matema.
I get social.
And he's here, doing it again. Bigger things to come. You know how it is. You find me on Nick Wataja on FB1. Nick Wataja _1 on Instagram. That's all you need, really. Sure.
It'll be there on your screens, guys.
But you catch
Pull up
me
the
here,
show.
right here. Podcast,
And Crew.
then again, and crew.
Away, man. Podcast and Crew. Organic. Podcast.
Nigga, you're going to podcast and you. Podcast and crew and you.
Podcast and Crew and you, man. Shout out to that.
Yeah.
I feel like,
We
Podcast and Crew
for
and
you.
You know?
Yo, this is Aubrey Mmakola. And subscribe to Podcast and Crew. Podcast and True. Podcast and Crew. Podcast and True. Yeah.
Subscribe, yo. Subscribe. Podcast and Crew. Podcast and Crew.
Top class and true. We do it just for you. This is.
Top classic.
What?
I'm still speaking.
Guys, this is a whole line. The last line is going to be podcast and crew.
Okay, go for it.
Rhyme.
Rolling.
Rhyme, Papa.
2, 1, action.
Top class and true. Just for you. Catch it. Subscribe. Podcast crew. Podcast and crew. Shit. Let's go. Top class and true. Do it. No. Top class and true. That for you. Okay. Top class and true just for you. Catch it. Subscribe to it. Podcast and crew.
And we cut it, guys.